Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
The recent fire at the African Safari Wildlife Park near Port Clinton was a tragedy for anyone who loves animals. The good news is that no human lives were lost. The bad news is that nearly a dozen exotic animals' lives were. Among them were 3 giraffes, 3 bongos, 3 Red River hogs, and a springbok. The news was no less of a shock if we had to stop and remind ourselves just what a bongo or a springbok or a Red River hog actually is. For the record, a bongo is a reddish-brown antelope with white stripes and large horns that twist in spirals. It is native to the forests of tropical Africa. A springbok is also an antelope, native to the plains of southern Africa. A Red River hog is a wild member of the pig family. Sometimes it's called a bush pig, and it's commonly found in Congolian rainforests. I just wanted you to know what we lost when fire consumed a wooden barn at the wildlife park on Thanksgiving night. Almost as disturbing to me was watching the TV news video of the inferno and spotting a giraffe running away from the flames in utter terror. I was relieved to read that the fleeing giraffe was one of the scores of animals that survived. As horrifying as the tragedy was, the human reactions that followed were heartwarming, and fortunately, they were predictable. Zoos across Ohio, including the Toledo Zoo, and some in other states, were in touch immediately, offering assistance. Public donations began pouring in at the wildlife park's website. The tragedy and its aftermath was a reminder of just how passionate most of us are about animals, whether it's a stray dog left outside in winter weather to fend for itself, or an exotic species whose numbers in the wild might be endangered. Actually, it's a bit bizarre when you think about it. Consider how Americans are becoming almost numb when we hear about another mass shooting. The murder of 12 students and 1 teacher at Columbine High School in Colorado shocked us to our core back in 1999. So did the killing of 17 people, most of them students, at Parkland High School in Florida in February 2018. However, when animals die in a fire or a flood or other disaster, and we see news accounts of their distress, the images are seared into our minds and memories forever. We humans know our weaknesses, and we know that animals have much to teach us. When an animal in the wild kills, it does so to survive, not to punish. Those of us who have never lived without a dog or a cat in the house know that it doesn't take a new puppy or kitten very long to remind us that love is all you need. Every dog I've ever had has lived on the top shelf of my heart. It's what they do. It's no coincidence that when we see a news report on TV or in the paper of a litter of abandoned puppies, each of the adorable little cuties finds a forever home pretty quickly. I saw a sweatshirt at the mall recently that said, "I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of dogs. I like dogs better." For better or worse, it's a sentiment that millions of people share. So we grieve and we mourn the loss of the magnificent creatures that died in the African Safari Wildlife Park fire. We do that because, well, it's human nature.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. Or hear past episodes at WGTE.org/life.